Good morning. Hand today is going to be pocket aces again. We're under the gun. I open raise, and we get several callers. All right, so just looking around the table, we do have one guy who's playing 72% of the hands. Anticipating that this guy is going to be calling, what I'm going to do with my opening range is tighten it up. So we do have the expanded range in blue. I think I just drop it and just go for the raise first in stat. So sevens plus, ace 10 suited plus ace king off, king queen queen jack suited, and king jack suited. I think this is going to be our tight range because I am expecting him to call, and then we'll be out of position. It wasn't just him that called, it's all these players. So we're under the gun, 33 hands. This guy's playing 24-0, no pre-flop raises. He's been doing a lot of limping. He's been calling, cold calling. I don't know if he's going to have raising hands. I would assume it would be queens plus ace king, but maybe what we need to do is kind of add these back. Maybe he's only going to be raising like kings plus maybe aces. So I think he's going to be just heavy pocket pairs, maybe some big cards. That's going to be my assumption. 72% guy, I'm going very wide. Suited aces, kings, queens, a lot of the suited hands, a lot of the offsuit hands. Actually, let's modify this. Let's make sure that what we're doing is making sure he has some hands that actually could connect in some way. So just something crazy. I do. He does raise. He does have 3-bet set. So I'm going to say jacks plus ace queen. That might be a little too narrow for his raising range, but given that he's so wide, but he's definitely wide. These next two players, I think, are going to have similar ranges. They're both playing fairly tight. I have a lot of hands on this player. You can see he's 19-3. If we look at his pre-flop stats, in the button, he calls 2-bet about 10% of the time. This seems like it's going to be like pocket pairs. Pocket pairs, some suited connectors, some suited broadways. It doesn't really raise a whole lot, but I do think he's going to be 3-betting, like queens plus. So it's your 3-bet range. I have jacks plus 17 attempts. I don't really have ace king in here, so maybe we should add those, but I think we're looking at, I think both ranges are going to be okay. The button, I did give king queen off. He's in the button. I do think a player like this probably would call that. So, and the blinds fold. We go to a flop. Jack 7-5 with 2 spades. Not bad. We figure to have the best hand, we figure there's going to be draws out here. I think this guy's going to be the one that hits the most. If we get raised, we're probably facing trips. So against this player, I think we're probably up against trips. If somebody else, it's going to be hard to deduce. If it's one of these other 3 guys, maybe it's trips, maybe it's 2 pair, maybe it's a straight or a flush draw or something like that. Maybe it's a jack. The nice thing is that we have the ace of spades, which reduces the number of nut flush draws that are out there. So we act first. What do we do? I do think we're going to be betting pot 16. I don't think we're going to be getting everyone to fold. I think we probably bet on the smaller size. So, four big blinds is right around 25%. We could probably do like 5 big blinds, which will put us under 33%, maybe 5.5 big blinds. I think betting smaller would be a little bit better, and I think we're going to be betting smaller with our set and with our overpair probably. I don't think we're necessarily doing it with our top pair, just because we don't have a huge number of draws. We've got our flush draw that we can help offset that. So we've got our flush draw there, and then we'll have overcard. So because of that, I don't think we're going to be betting all of these. I think kind of feel like betting. I think it's betting makes more sense with aces and then kings and queens. But maybe not all like aces, kings, and queens. I think ace with the ace of spades, that's positive. Yeah, with the ace of spades, I think that's a bonus. And the queen, you could see that it's just going to be hard to have hands that we can bluffing hands basically. So our no made hands, I think we're gonna look at like 2-card backdoor flush draws as our bluff. So something like that, and that might be it. And then maybe the overcards, maybe like ace king if we have like spade. So I think that's kind of what I'm looking at. So I think this bet's too large. Definitely it's going to be a challenge, but I think against 5 opponents, it's probably better to go a little bit smaller. See what happens. See what people like. With those that stick around, we can start narrowing their range. So the first guy folds, second guy calls, third guy folds, and then the button calls. So let's go through here. This guy folds c-bets 50-60%, so he's probably calling, based on his range, he's probably calling at least middle pair plus. If he's got a pair, he probably is calling. So we're going to go bottom pair with 5x. We're going to give him the flush draw, open ender, maybe the gut shot. Yeah, I think the gut shot. This guy's going to be interesting. Let's check the flop, see if he raises a whole lot. So raises c-bet 2%. He didn't raise. And here I'm going to give him the flush draw. I'm going to give him the open ender. But then it's going to be top pair plus for him. I don't think he's calling pocket pair less than the top card. I really don't. Not a tight player, so we're gonna go with those ranges. Oh, well, he's all in, so that could change it. No, still top pair plus, flush draw, open ender. That's gonna be his draw. I forgot about that sizing. All right, so the king comes out. I think based on our range, that king helps us. I think we do fire again. I think we fire top pair plus. I think we include our flush draw. We're going to be much more value oriented here. I don't think we have a good read on this player to kind of set up like a check and a raise. So I think this is going to be what we're going to be betting. And as you see, we're gonna have more value. Actually, we'll probably add the gut shot too. Now that we've improved, because the king really does help our range. So I bet on the larger size, I don't mind sizing up, and I think that's why we should have gone like a third pot on the smaller size on the flop, because then we could size up a little bit more, but still risk less than what we're risking now. And this guy raises, and that's not good. When people raise, I don't think they raise with top pair. I think they raise 2 pair plus. I don't even think they're raising with the draw. I think he's looking just like this. Could have king jack that he hit. So now it's back on us, and the question is, what do we do? We need 17% equity. It's just a kind of a question, you know, are we getting the odds? So let's think about our odds. So we need 17%. What's going to get us 17% against this range? I think right now, just with our range here, we're getting it. I think we're going to go flush draw. I think we got a gut shot that we could call with. I think flush draw is probably better than the gut shot. So I think we fold the gut shot, probably a little bit indifferent. Flush draw, definitely. We know with the ace of spades, he's probably not doing. He's probably not making this raise with the gut shot. The other guy's all in. So it kind of comes down to top pair. Let's check this out. Open up Equilab. We will get our flop here. So we got Jack of Hearts, 7 of 5, and we have a King of Diamonds. All right, so villain here. We're going to give him all of these hands. And then for us, let's say we have Ace King of Hearts. So we've got a top pair type hands. What does that give us? So we're at 11%. So top pair doesn't work for us. What about overpair? Oh wait, let's do our overpair. So Ace of Hearts, Ace of Spades. So only 15%. We're getting close. We're getting close. Let's do our gut shot. Let's do our gut shot with Ace Queen. See, yeah, real low on the gut shot. But I bet if we do like Ace Queen of Spades, I bet we're gonna have the odds to call. So yeah, Ace Queen of Spades would work if we did. I don't think we have Ace 5. Let's do Ace Jack. Or let's do not Ace Jack, Ace 10. I bet that'll work. Yep. So you know, flush draw is gonna be a call, and then I'm guessing what I think we have to check. There's two pair King Jack of Spades. Yeah, I think the King Jack of Spades is also going to work. So when we think about it, overpair should be a fold. I think we're at two pair plus and then flush draw. And I think that's going to be what hand we should be calling here based on his raise. I called here. I think this is a mistake. 4 diamonds comes out. I think here, if we had called all of those, I think we lead out. I think we lead out with our set here. Sevens and jacks. Because since the flush didn't get there, he might just check behind and take the showdown. So I checked, rightfully so. He bets 59.4. We've got, it's basically we're going to be all in. We're getting 24% essentially. We should just fold. I didn't. I called. I don't know why I did this. He shows King 5 for 2 pair. He shows King 6 for top pair. So do I have King 5 in his range? Yeah, exactly. King 5. I kind of would have leaned more towards King Jack, but I think that kind of represents 2 pairs. So overall, this is just a very poorly played hand. I made bet sizing mistakes. I think I should have c-bet smaller. And then turn, you can increase it. I think I should have just folded on the turn. I know it's like, wow, you're folding aces. Yeah, you know, you don't see these raises. These are min raises here from a loose player who very likely hit connected with a 2 pair. We're not getting the odds to draw. We just kind of look through what hands do have the odds there. So even though our range was over 20%, that range had a lot of flush draws in it that were all getting the proper odds to call. It had 2 pair, it had some sets in it. So just don't look necessarily at a range versus range here. You know, when you're put to these situations, you kind of have to look at the actual hand, your hand versus their range to see, are we getting the proper odds to call. When we do have that, you know, close decision, we have to think, could we get any more money if we connect? Maybe. So maybe it's, you know, those hands where we needed 17%, maybe those that are at 15%, maybe the implied odds can bump us over the edge. But in this case, I should have folded the turn. Not only that, but then I should have just folded the river. He's demonstrating he's got a hand. and he could beat one pair. So, moral of the story: don't go bust with one pair. I did that. This definitely hurt. I shouldn't have done this. All right, so hopefully you enjoy this hand and learn something. If you did and like this, come back tomorrow for another hand.